Hey guys, Dan the Man with Ralston Acres again. Listen, I have a lot of people ask me questions about where do I learn more about Christmas tree farming other than a book or a talking to an experienced farmer or, well, I've got the answer to that question. Stay tuned. In response to that question that we get asked a lot, how do I continue to learn more and more about Christmas tree farming? And is can I learn everything all at one sitting? Well, the answer to that is obviously no, but there is a lot of resources. There are a lot of resources out there where you can uh, learn more about Christmas tree farming. Let me tell you a couple that I come to mind right offhand, and that would be to join your state Christmas Tree Growers Association. Uh, I happen to be within 20 miles of the Tennessee state line, so I'm a member of both the Tennessee uh, uh, growers and also the Georgia growers. Uh, that is something I think that has propelled our knowledge, what little we have, but it has helped us tremendously because we're networking then with other Christmas tree farmers in other parts of this of our states, and most of it within the regions that we will grow our Christmas trees, and we get feedback. What works here? What have you tried here? I've tried this, but it didn't work, or I tried this and it did work. Maybe a combination of the two. Would that work? This is what I've tried, and this is what my results are. Is this correct? Or there's just a lot of questions that you can have answered by networking with other Christmas tree farmers in the Tennessee Christmas Tree Growers Association, Georgia Christmas Tree Growers Association. There's a Southern Christmas Tree Growers Association. There's also one in Virginia. There's one in Kentucky. There's one in there was one in Florida. I'm thinking it might be now with Southern. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Um, there's one in South Carolina. There's two in North Carolina. One's more for the trees that are grown in the mountains, and then there would be one for the trees that are grown on the eastern side of the state. But there's a lot of knowledge and speakers and resources and networking that you can do within those associations that will help you in your endeavor as a Christmas tree farmer. I never will forget the first place I went. It was local. It was about maybe 10 or 15 miles away, and the I sort of expected maybe the farmer that I went to see might be a little hesitant to share information with me because am I going to be a competitor? Is this going to work out? But the farmer was actually very open, and one of the first things he told me, join your local growers association, whether it be Georgia, Tennessee, whatever. In this particular case, it was Georgia. Um, but they share a lot of, they don't mind sharing information. I told this story to someone else one time, and they told me that it was very unusual that our industry as Christmas tree growers do that, and that we like to see fellow growers succeed. And there's plenty of customers to go around because most every one of us sell out in 2 or 3 weekends, and sometimes we sell out in one weekend. And so we welcome other Christmas tree growers to join us in what we're doing at Christmas time. But my point was, when I was talking to this grower when I first went to this place to sort of see a little more about it, and I also talked to a friend of mine. He says it's very unusual for someone getting into the business to be helped by someone who's already in the business, because most of our culture today is like, you're going to compete with us. I'm not going to share my secrets with you. I'm not going to help you along the way. That's not the way it is in the Christmas tree growing industry. We all trying to work together uh, for one common goal, and that's to be a successful farmer. So, with that said, I just wanted to take this few minutes. I know this is a short video this time, but to take a few minutes and to share a couple of things about the local Growers Association. Now there is one. There's a National Christmas Tree Growers Association. There is the Real Christmas Tree Promotion Board. I think it's maybe has changed its name lately, but it is. You can find it by using that. Um, but these associations seek to help not only the established farmer but also that person that wants to get into the business. But I do think that your state associations would be your first step. I would suggest this to you is to seek out 2 or 3 Christmas tree farms that within driving distance, maybe a day trip, maybe 2 or 3 hours away, or don't have to be that far, that you think are somewhat successful, maybe one that has just gotten started, maybe another one that has been farming for a few years, maybe a third one who's been doing this for a long time, and go and visit that farm. Go and listen, you won't have any trouble scheduling a time for the farmer to talk to you about his farm, because we're all about that. But schedule a visit, schedule a visit and go to that farm and look to see how do they handle the traffic, what kind of parking do they have, what kind of experiences can a person expect when they come onto their farm, what kind of trees do they grow, what's their best sellers, what sizes are the best sellers, how do they price their trees, um, uh, what do they use to get the trees from the field back to the processing area. There's just so many questions. Do they have a big barn? Do they not have one? Do they have a small area? There's just so many questions you can have answered by using things that you learn from visiting those farms. Um, I remember some farms that I went to. There was one that was fairly local, and I saw the setup they had, and the way they price their trees is okay. I want all the trees that I have that are harvestable size. They're the same price, whether it's 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot, whatever. They're the same price. Well, okay. Then I went to another one, and they tagged their trees where you take a tree tag and you put a price on each tree individually. Maybe you look at the tree and see if it's looks really really good, so you sort of grade it, if you will, and put a tag on there for that. Uh, you might ask that person, what per foot do I need to use as a guide in pricing my trees? But anyway, then I went to, yet another one, and he tagged his trees, and he maybe puts grades 1, 2, and 3, or 1 and 2. So this is a nicer tree, so it should command a better price. Or, this is the farmer's choice at a tag, and so this is the farmer's choice tree, or the whatever. And this one is a little notch above maybe the next tree you look at, so it's going to carry a heavier price. Uh, that's one of the things that I saw when I went to the different places. Um, how many workers do you have working with you? That's another thing that you have to consider in mind when you're looking at that. There's just I can't just take the time to go through all the different questions that were answered in different ways by just those 3 different farms. And then I took what I gleaned from those 3 farms and incorporated it on mine. And if one of my particular ways of doing this didn't work, then I changed it because maybe I saw another way that they did it somewhere else. So with all that put together, I think that belonging to your associations, making sure that you network with other farmers, let them know that you're brand new and that you're getting into the business and that you need all the help you can get, and they'll be happy to help you. Look at the resources for the production manuals and things like that are available to you. And I think all that put together will get you a good start. But I would start, the first step that I would take would be to join the local or the state Christmas Tree Growers Association and attend their field days or meetings. Please do that. That is so important in answering a lot of your questions. Then schedule sometimes for those 3 farms. Make sure that you go to at least 2 or 3 to see how they set things up. And lastly, use the production manuals as they're available to you. Well, that's about all we have time today for this short video. I know I did a lot of talking, but if you can, please subscribe to our channel if this content is of interest to you. That would help me. It does not cost you a penny. It is just simply letting YouTube know that you did watch this channel and the content of it. Also, feel free to chime in on comments. We're always looking for new items and new things to put on our YouTube channel as far as things about growing Christmas trees and such. So this might give us some ideas. And the thumbs up, thumbs down button, give us a thumbs up if you like this, the content of this, and if this helps you in your endeavors on learning about Christmas trees. Thank you again, and we'll see you on the next version of Farming Around the Christmas Tree.